everyone. If you're going through a difficult time right now with your mental health and you're trying to juggle that whilst also hold down a job, then hopefully this video will be helpful for you. If you're new here, I'm Nicola. I'm an occupational therapist and I make videos about mental health and living well. First of all, give yourself some credit, because managing our mental health sometimes really feels like a full-time job in itself. So if you're trying to deal with that and work at the same time, then that's not easy. But you're here, you're hanging in there, and you're probably doing a much better job than you think. So the first step in improving anything always comes from enhancing your awareness of yourself. Try to tune into yourself and understand what is going on for you. Do you have a diagnosis? What does that mean for you? What does that look like? Write it all down, familiarise yourself with it, and accept that this is what is happening for you right now, and that's okay. Once you have an awareness of what you're going through, then think about your individual needs and how you can get your needs met. That includes thinking about your triggers and thinking about your coping strategies to manage those triggers. Say, for example, you're starting to have panic attacks and you have no idea where they're coming from. You think they're completely coming out of the blue. Oftentimes there is an underlying cause that maybe we've just not quite noticed yet. It could be something really small, like the 3 coffees that you're having in the morning to make you feel more awake after having a rubbish night's sleep the night before. They could be increasing your heart rate, and that steady increase of your heart rate could be bringing on those feelings of panic and bringing on that panic attack. When you know the problem, then it's a lot easier to work on the solution. And nobody's going to figure that out for you. That has to come from you. Talk about it if you feel that you can. Communicating your needs is a personal decision, but it can be a really powerful tool in helping you to get your needs met and to manage your condition. If you choose to disclose your mental health condition to your employer and it's all on record, then you might be entitled to some reasonable adjustments. In the UK, we're protected by some legislation called the Equality Act, and that's put in place to try and minimise discrimination and make sure we're all treated fairly in the workplace. This means that you are entitled to adjustments that could minimise your struggles and make sure that you're having the same fair chance at excelling in your job as everybody else around you. I really do encourage you to check out my other video on how to talk to your employer about your mental health, because these 2 videos really go hand in hand. Set healthy boundaries for yourself. Setting boundaries means you're taking some control back for yourself. You're taking ownership of your needs. Setting healthy boundaries can be things like not working past your dedicated hours. I know sometimes it's just not possible at all, but a lot of the time it is, and it's a conscious decision that we're not making. You might not get everything done, and you need to be okay with that. And you know what? Accepting that I'm not going to get everything done is a lot healthier mindset than trying to rattle through everything on the list and just completely overwhelming yourself. During your work hours, your work is your priority. The rest of the time, you are your priority. Another healthy boundary is learning to say no. Learn to work within your limits and learn to say no when or even before you've reached your max capacity. You're not work shy, you're just a person that is learning to set boundaries for yourself, manage your mental health so that you can carry on being as awesome in your job as you are. If you're not already seeking support from your doctor or a mental health team or a therapist, then now really is the time to do so. It is likely that you might have more medical appointments during this time, and it's really important that you prioritise those appointments. There is no law which says you're legally entitled to take medical appointments during work hours. That's going to come down to your individual employment contract, so make sure you check that and you know what you're entitled to. I will say though that if your medical appointment is linked to a mental health condition that is classified as a disability and you've already disclosed this disability to your employer, then they are legally obliged to allow you to attend to those appointments as part of your reasonable adjustments for having that condition. If it's not classed as a disability, still have that discussion and see what you're able to do about those appointments, because you have to prioritise those appointments. Prioritising those appointments means you're taking care of your health, you're going to be able to stay happy and well in your job, and you're going to keep making money for your employer, so it is in their best interest as well to allow you to attend those appointments. Have a plan in place. Having a plan in place is about preventing things from getting any worse. It's about prevention rather than cure. There's even a designated tool called a Wellness Recovery Action Plan that you can complete either by yourself or with a professional, and you could share that with your employer as well. The aim of the Wellness Recovery Action Plan is to focus on recovery, is to focus on self-management and knowing your needs and being able to articulate your needs. The official Wellness Recovery Action Plan is pretty long, it's a pretty hefty document to work through, and you do have to pay to download it, but there's now lots of simplified versions online which are free to download and might be a bit easier to digest, especially if this is all fairly new for you. And finally, lower your expectations. Sometimes you just have to accept that you're not going to be functioning at your peak performance right now, and that is okay. You cannot expect so much from yourself when your body and your brain is working so hard just to keep you well enough right now. Do as much as you can and don't push yourself to do any more than that. You're going to be back on track eventually. I've linked to a lot of really helpful resources down in the comments, so please do be sure to check those out as well. And leave me a comment if you feel like there's anything I've missed or you want me to cover in another video. As always, I hope you found this video helpful, and I will look forward to seeing you again next time.